Hello, everyone. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Joey. For those who do, my name is still Joey. Today, we're going to start the book of Job in the Old Testament of the Bible. I'm not sure how many chapters there are in this, but I'm sure I will be able to get through all of this. Not today. So, I'll finish. Oh, wow. There's a lot. There's 42 chapters of Job, so this is going to be the longest playlist yet. I'm excited. All right. So, reason why I do these videos is for public accountability for myself as well as to bring people closer to God. Now, I believe the book of Job is more of the story of Job himself. He was a faithful man to God and would give him praise to a lot of things. And he goes through a lot of testimonies, and he goes through a lot of tests that Satan throws at him. And we'll see a bunch of those, and we'll see how Job reacts. Reason why it's a story is because it's a story. It's a part of the Bible that we should be looking at on how we would react to certain things. So without further ado, let's get this going. Job chapter 1. Job's character and wealth. There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job, and that man was blameless and upright, one who feared God and turned away from evil. There were born to him 7 sons and 3 daughters. He possessed 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 female donkeys, and very many servants, so that this man was the greatest of all the people of the East. His sons used to go and hold a feast in the house of each one on his sons used to go and hold a feast in the house of each one on his day. And they would send and invite their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. And when the days of the feast had run their course, Job would send and consecrate them. And he would rise early in the morning and offer burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, "It may be that my children have sinned and cursed God in their hearts." Thus Job did continually. Satan allowed to test Job. Now, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came among them. The Lord said to Satan, "From where have you come?" Satan answered the Lord and said, "From going to and fro on the earth, and from walking up and down on it." And the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a blameless and upright man who fears God and turns away from evil?" I'm highlighting this because this shows that God knows his people. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, "Does Job fear God for no reason? Have you not put a hedge around him and his house and all that he has on every side? You have blessed the work on his hands, and his possessions have increased in the land. But stretch out your hand and touch all that he has, and he will curse you to your face." And the Lord said to Satan, "Behold, all that he has is in your hand. Only against him do not stretch out your hand." So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord. Satan takes Job's property and children. That little bit there was it's a little harder to read because it's in English Standard Version. It's not in like the newer versions that other people read the Bible. It's basically Lord basically saying, if you don't think he's going to praise me, go. Test him. I know he's going to be with me through and through. Go for it. And Satan's now going to go do that. Job chapter 1 verse 13. Satan takes Job's property and children. Now there was a day when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their oldest brother's house. And there came a messenger to Job and said, "The oxen were plowing and the donkeys feeding beside them, And the Sabines fell upon them, and took them, and struck down the servants with the edge of the sword. And I alone have escaped to tell you. First act that Satan does is killing Job's servants. Verse 16. While he was yet speaking, there came another and said, The fire of God fell from heaven and burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them, and I alone have escaped to tell you. Burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them. That's the next thing that Satan does. While he was yet speaking, there came another and said, The Chaldeans formed 3 groups and made a raid on the camels and took them and struck down the servants with the edge of the sword, and I alone have escaped to tell you. While he was yet speaking, there came another and said, Your sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their old brother's house. And behold, a great wind came across the wilderness and struck the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young people, and they are dead. And I alone have escaped to tell you. 4 huge things happened to Job right here. The biggest thing, he just lost his sons and daughters, his 7 sons and 3 daughters. Then Job arose and tore his robe and shaved his head and fell on the ground and worshipped. And he said, Naked I come from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. He thinks he's in his end times. He thinks this is it. He thinks he's going to die. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this, Job did not sin or charge God with wrong. Satan does all of these things to Job, and Job tears off his clothing and shaves his head, tore his robe and shaved his head, and fell on the ground and worshipped. I think the main thing there is to focus on the fact that he worshipped. I don't think we need to go as far as shaving our heads and tearing off clothing, because I don't think we need to do all that. I think it's the fact that he went to worship instead of cursing God. And said, Naked I come from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Like I said, maybe like less than a minute ago, he thought it was the end times for him. He thought he was next. He thought he was going to die next. The Lord gave him everything, and now the Lord's going to take it all away. And he was giving the Lord praise for what the Lord has given him, and the gratefulness, and just worshiping God, so that hopefully in hopes that he would be able to be with God after he passes away, or to his thought that he would pass away. That was it starts off, Job is this, he's an amazing guy, he does all of these things and like everything. And then Satan goes, he's only doing that because you're giving him stuff. God says, do your worst. And Satan definitely has started to already. He killed off his children at the last of it. He lost all of his stock, like his food stock, or his sheep and oxen, the 7,000 sheep, the 3,000 camels, the 500 yoke of oxen. He lost all of that. He lost the oxen first, then the sheep, then the camels. He lost oxen, sheep, camels, then his family. Oxen, sheep, camels, then his sons and daughters. And he worships him. This seems like a very quick, very, very quick start off to this story of Job. Maybe there seems to be a whole lot more to Job than I thought there was, seeing as there's 42 chapters. But I'm excited to get going in this. I only do 1 chapter a day, so for those who are interested in Job and want to keep going, go for it. don't let me stop you. I'm studying for myself as well as maybe helping those who are reading along and aren't following as much. So feel free to continue on if you want to, and you're like, well, what does Job do next? What happens next? And I don't get to know till I am awake tomorrow, hopefully, if the Lord lets it be. So with that, I'm going to end this video here, rather quick, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please, thank you so much for maybe even following in your own Bible. Translations are different, so what I say from my Bible might be different from what other Bibles say. But they still mean the same thing. They still follow up and end up saying the same thing, just in different wording. Feel free to share this with anyone. And yeah, I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye.